Good New Year's morning, 2025. Let's see, audio. Let's just get some audio checks here. I'm not going to meet that until it comes live. It's not live yet for me. I'm sitting here getting things ready, and then I look up and see it's 9:01. Whoops, I'm late. Late for a very important date. First day of 2025, and he shows up late. Okay. Yeah, 2025. How about that? Ken Stout and his homies did their 24-hour debacle, no, 12-hour debacle last night. A 10-hour video, then a 2-hour video, because YouTube won't let you go over 12 hours. Ken, if you're around, or anybody else, if you want to put in links in chat. Hey there, Wendy. How you doing? Let's see. Can I put you in the boat? Didn't get it quick enough. Let's see. The boat would go about there. Yeah, so if somebody wants to put links in chat for his shows from last night, I welcome you to do that. Alice says 12 hours. I was there for a few hours. Yes, I saw you in the chat there. I spot checked those videos this morning a bit. Tony Wallow starts off this morning with 50 memberships. Thank you, Tony. You know what? I have second thought the comment that I made a little while back, kind of saying I wasn't a fan of memberships. But when I see these names, good grief, Miss Molly, I recognize just about all of them. Ida, Robert, wait a minute, Alice, gifted membership. Okay. Sean, Rajdi, Robert, Ghetto, which is Josh Kinder, Randall Smith. I can't read them all because there's just a whole bunch of them. Thank you so much, Tony. Now, the reason why I had said previously that I was not a fan of it is because the main reason why I turned membership on is because as this channel grows, when we get large number of subscribers down the road, I want you to be able to show that you've been around here and supporting since the beginning. So those badges are going to show how long you've been a member. And I was thinking, well, if people are given a membership, that's not really them showing support. However, if they're given a membership and then they renew, because that gift is only 1 month, if they renew and stay as a member, then absolutely, yeah. So great. Thank you so much. And then he comes in with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you. Then let's see. Alice says, thank you to Tony. Alice says, love the new name of the show. However, now she's referring to Windows Fix-It Lab and that red dot, because that makes it noticeable. Live solutions for your PC problems. However, that's not going to be the name of tomorrow's show. Wait a minute, Doug. Tomorrow's Thursday. What do you mean? Show tomorrow? Yeah, we're back to 6 days a week. 6 days a week for 2025, although I will take a day off now and then for no apparent reason, or maybe there will be a reason. Maybe I'll tell you about it. Maybe I won't. But the title of the shows and the thumbnails are going to change. The purpose of the titles and the thumbnails is to attract somebody that hasn't been watching the show. So I'm going to be doing some very, very different kind of thumbnails and titles, because the theory is when I find the right person, each time I find the right person for this channel, they will want to keep coming back. If they don't want to keep coming back, then they're not the right person for this channel. So I'm going to be doing a variety of different titles and thumbnails. And I'm trying to bring this thumbnail, Canva is where I do thumbnails, to give you the idea of those different thumbnails. Let's go. This is taking a while. So like there's this one for today, and then another one, another one, another one. And those will keep coming different. And the titles will be different. Now the thumbnail, let me show you this. The key thing that you're going to care about for the thumbnail, the title of the show is no longer going to have the episode number or the day of the week. What I am going to do is in the thumbnail, upper left corner, it'll give the day of the week and the show number, and that's how you'll be able to recognize when you see a thumbnail, that upper left corner. Oh, that's one of Doug's thumbnails or shows. So that's a difference. All right, now I want to do fairly regularly, maybe not always, running through channel, not really analytics, but kind of what I'm going to keep track of so that you can keep track of this too. Going to channel dashboard. Currently we're at 2,684 subscribers, 21 new subscribers in the last 28 days. That's a number that I want to see climb. More and more new members in the last 28 days. Come down here and take a look at members, see all members. And when I looked at this morning, all of these was 0 days saying, wow, these people just came in. And then I realized, oh, this is Tony's membership gifting that did all this. Oh, you know what? I haven't tested SpeakerBot. Let's go check. I'm going to come here and do an exclamation mark. Why? The purpose of SpeakerBot in 2025 is to bring my attention to something. Not so much the way it was in 24 with a lot of humor, because I need to get things. We just had too much interruption with the chat in the past, with SpeakerBot in the past. I don't hear anything. It did not come through. So I'm going to go check on SpeakerBot. Let's see. I can show you this. I like showing my work. If I come over here to the properties for SpeakerBot, no, that's not red. That should have been there. Okay, so then if I come
read
over...
Read chat, please.
Oh, there it is. There it is. It just doesn't work for me. Chris Garrett put in a read chat, please. Did you guys hear that? Let me see if I can put one in now. Seems like every time I put in one, it doesn't work. And then somebody else puts in one and it works.
Yes, affirmative.
Yep, you heard that.
Yes, affirmative.
Okay, now, where was I at? Because I distracted myself, didn't I? All right, over here with these members. So awesome. So I will be giving acknowledgement to members just by clicking through. I won't always click through all of them perhaps, but this is the way for me giving recognition to people, because I do not want to take a lot of time and recognition, but I do want to give recognition. So this is the way that's occurring to me to do. Now then, that is memberships, then supers and gifts to give acknowledgement to those. Tony Wallow, is that his from today? 199. I think that is what he did. So yeah, happy New Year, homie. H New Year, homie. Yeah, so that's it. That's how quickly this shows up here. And if I click to see all, this gives acknowledgement to people who have sent recent super chats or super thanks and stickers. And this is the way to acknowledge them. I'm not going to be calling out every name because this is a half-hour show during the week. And I want to focus on providing the content to the target audience. Then one other place that I need to go. Now I sanitized my list here so that it doesn't reveal things I don't want to reveal as far as identity of clients and such. There's a couple new gift cards here, and then here's recent gift cards, and well, not only recent, but further ago. Yeah, one of 23. So there actually are only 23 email notifications of those. Here's Tony with an Amazon gift card for 2025. $25. Thank you, Tony. And it's got a little thing for me to play. If I turn on Chrome browser audio, you should be able to hear that. And then I got to click again, I think, to actually play it. Whoops. Awesome. Thank you, Tony. And then I'll apply that to my Amazon account. This is how it's done. And then it said, thank you for the Amazon gift card. And I'll send that to Tony. All right. That covers that. Now, where do I go to? Ready to actually start the show? I think so. That's just a little musical interlude while I'm getting to this next spot. Oh, yeah, I don't need to do any of those. All right, coming back to take a quick look at chat. There's an orange. John Williams, nice trader sitting on a laptop that has feet. I like that. I don't think he's referring to the trailer. I just want to have fun. was the trailer. There's a link in the description of this video to watch the trailer if you'd like to. And I think trailer is going to be an ongoing thing because I just enjoy making them so much. And I'm taking request. See this right here for trailer ideas? They start accumulating here. So if you want to, you can put on a comment on any video. Maybe not the chat room because I'm not always going to read everything in the chat room. If you do it in the chat room, put a request and then do an exclamation mark C on the next line, that would do it, or exclamation mark C and your trailer request. Be sure to include the words trailer request because you know that I'm a Doug. I might not recognize what you're asking. Let's see. Happy New Year, all his fans. Looking forward to an interesting and expanded channel. Me too. Very, very much. Looking for more oranges. Nice laptop, a little pricey, but you get what you pay for. Now, I got a story to tell you about this. Zvi Minor asked, do I have a 3D printer? And he is asking that in reference to this. No, I do not, but this is 3D printed. My 11-year-old grandson got a 3D printer for Christmas. No, it wasn't from me. It was from his mother, and he had asked for it. Yeah, I got no idea how much it costs. I don't think it was super expensive. Hang on a moment. Next door.
Read chat, please.
See, there's the links, I think, for Ken Stout's show. Here, I'm going to get up your voice and audio are not in sync. I saw some conversation about that. I don't think everyone's experiencing that. Doug, open the laptop behind you, please. Yes, I'm going to do that. Even if I have to go overtime to get her done. Get it done. Now, voice and audio not in sync. I saw somebody saying it was in sync for them.
Read chat, please.
Zvi Minor, no, Martin Hoggs, read chat. What are you trying to direct my attention to, Martin? A new year and a new thumbnail equals new path to million subscribers. Good luck. Yeah, multiple thumbnails. Should be different thumbnail every day. Maybe some with some repeats, but trying to attract the attention of different people. What's in the box? All right. I don't know what Martin Hogg was trying to say unless he was just trying to give a second vote to that open the laptop. Okay, the story for this laptop. You know about this person.
Read chat, please.
This is the person who we had received a laptop that was discovered to have a CPU that was not Windows 11 capable, or it wasn't on the approved list. So I sent it back, and I've told you that I made a mistake with that client. I had assumed that she was on a tight budget similar to her mother. So I'm going to get to that chat in just a moment. So I came up with 4 laptops as replacements. I showed her 2 Dell laptops, this one and another one that was about half the price. And then I showed on Amazon Lenovo laptop that was comparable to the lower of the 2 Dell laptops. And then I showed another Lenovo laptop that was around $350. So I had confessed to you that I had probably incorrectly superimposed her mother's type budget onto her. Yeah, her mother's in her 90s, I think. Thank you, Tony. I just got that on my watch. Well, I told you that when I reported to her that I had to return that laptop because it wasn't Windows 11, that she had said she'd be willing to pay 2 or 3 times as much So I gave her those 4 choices. She selected the most expensive of those 4 choices. And I put a link towards the beginning of chat today that'll take you to the Dell page for this. Now, that last read chat was Martin Hogg about can't join on iPad, I think is what he's questioning. And Chris Garrett had a question. So we'll go look at that. Is that the question you're referring to? Let's go see if Chris had some other computer questions. So I'll go to 3 dots, channel activity, and then click on this right arrow to see all of his stuff here. And oh, he got that through. We discovered, was it last night? Yeah, last night I was on Ken Stout's show in the first half hour or so. And he couldn't get this message in, but he could get me with a sledgehammer. But if he included hit, it was blocking him. And he said that he had the same problem on my show, but now it came through. If you have 2 monitors or more, take a screenshot, control print screen. Is there a way to only screenshot 1 monitor? That's his question. You do not have to answer today. Open laptop behind. So he's saying he prefers I open the laptop behind. That's Windows 10, isn't it, Chris? Windows 11, it's pretty easy. That is, was it Shift Windows S? Yeah. And then up here, you can pick from these choices. But Windows 10, you want to choose a particular monitor. I'd have to experiment with that. I don't know offhand. And he confirms it's Windows 10 he's dealing with. Okay, let's get to this laptop. See, do I want to close that? No, I want to click this left arrow to get back to chat. All right. Create timer called Chris Garrett screen capture question.
Timer for how long?
1 hour.
Chris Garrett screen capture question timer. 1 hour, starting now.
Okay, that'll remind me how to get to it. Greg M says that works in Windows 10. I'm assuming you're saying what I just showed with that drop down. Is that what you're referring to, Greg M? Shift Windows S. I'm not totally sure that you're seeing. I don't think you see the snipping mode. There's a drop down arrow for the snipping mode, and you can choose window full screen. That might have got all 3 though. I'm not sure. All right. I will look at that later. Now let's get to this laptop. Keyboard, camera, and I've got addresses and names covered here rather than using the black marker because this box is going to go to the client. Funny thing is I blocked this one out, and shortly before the show I realized, oh, there's another one over here. I better block that one too. Now let's get I just know I'm going to tip over one of these cups. Documentation. Latitude 3550. I guess I got to show that way for you to see it. There's that's all it is. And yeah, wow. Not very much. Just basically giving us a picture of how to connect the power. I know you can't see that very well, but I don't think you need that. Power cord, silica gel, AC adapter. See if there's anything else in the box. Sometimes there are things put into little crevices somewhere. Now, interesting thing worth pointing out, this is the shipping box. The box that the laptop was stored in, there was no outer box, but it's a very sturdy box. When my client decided to go with this computer, I went into the Dell customization. We looked through each item and customized based upon her choices and preferences. Nice looking, somewhat texture. It's a very, very fine texture. Cloth over the keyboard. There we go. Now we have an HDMI port, so I'm going to connect to my capture card and then power on and see if this laptop will also get us the startup and even BIOS through the capture card, because we've had trouble with some laptops on that. The inexpensive ones, ironically, worked just fine. This one, I'm not quite so convinced about. Well, let's look at some other things on this first. Realize we need to cover. Turn it so it faces you. We got the numeric keypad, touchpad, got a power in the upper right. Function keys, kind of normal looking. That's the AI button, isn't it? Copilot button. i5. And then the side of the computer, she connects her laptop to Ethernet. So that was an important piece to be sure it has Ethernet. We got power there. We got HDMI. We've got a USB type A, and we got a USB type C, and then that should be headphone jack. I'm going to take a look myself, confirm all of that. Yes, that type A USB port has the SS symbol for super speed. And then this side, there's the, there's a Kensington lock, the Ethernet, and then two type A ports. There's no colored tongues on those, which is usually indicating 3.0. So I'm going to take a closer look at those and see if it has the extra. Yes, these two ports have the extra conductors for 3.x. And so does this side. So the tongues are not colored, but they are 3 dot something. Power. Going to be interested to see the state of BitLocker, secure boot, and local user account. I think this was a Windows 11 Pro, which means it's an easy thing to do local user account by choosing I want to use this for business and I intend to connect to a domain server, even if I don't. If it's Windows 11 Home, then I would have to use the Shift F10 and catch this, OOBE /OOBE bypass NRO. Are you proud of me? I remembered it. Okay, now let's see. There's the capture button. Power on and capture
Yes,
button at the
affirmative.
same time. Zvi is proud of me. Thank you. There it is on the screen, but it's not coming through on the capture. Secured with Dell Safe BIOS is the message on the top. Got a Dell logo, spinning circle. Secured with Dell Safe BIOS again. Just a moment. Now we've got that on screen on the capture. So this is happening before Windows because this is the out-of-box experience. But I'm thinking that I'm not going to be able to get into BIOS through capture. Ghetto Josh, you're asking why
Read
not
chat,
Doug?
please.
You'll need to give me more to that. Why not what? You're making reference to something that I just said, but I don't know which something. Okay, and read chat, please, was from Chris Garrett. Dell should have it on secure, and it may be in RAID. Yeah, if they're still using the, oh, there I go. I was just so proud of myself for remembering the OOB, and I'm forgetting their stupid caching thing that does, oh, it's like a fuel. Reminds me of a fuel. Come on, you're going to have to give it to me. Why not Doug? Yeah, I don't know what you're referring to, Josh.
Read chat, please.
Optane. Yes, Optane. Optane, octane. That's why it reminds me of fuel, octane. But when I say it reminds me of fuel, I just don't quite get there yet. Is the installation Windows pre-installation environment? I suspect so. Yeah, that's what it looks like. The installation is Windows PE. I think maybe you're saying that, Zvi, in relation to my comment about the capture card, and that
Read
makes a
chat,
difference.
please.
Chris Garrett, mine is in RAID and it did not have Octane. Oh, all right. I don't mind it being configured for RAID as long as we don't have Optane. See, he actually used the word octane like I was saying. That's just a memory trick to think of octane, but the right word is Optane. Optane is dead. If it's in that laptop, then it is old. This should be brand new, ordered directly from Dell, not from Amazon. Austin Grace says, Happy New Year to all. Thanks for the channel membership. Austin Grace, that was from Tony Wallow. I'll bet you. Let's go see. Austin. Yeah, Austin Grace was gifted membership by Tony Wallow. So how about that, Tony? One of your gifts has shown up in chat. And Austin Grace is already in blue, which means he's been around here before. I don't think you've been here very often because I don't quite recognize your name. Love to see you around here more often. This is a newly revised show for 2025. Let's see. I don't have any chance. Oh, turn off flashlight on the phone. You know, that flashlight on the phone does not wear down the battery much. I have accidentally left it on too long and it doesn't turn it off. I mean, it doesn't wear the battery down, and it just goes back into my charger right away anyway. All right, let's get on to business. Here we go. I need to connect a keyboard. All right, here we go. Mouse is alive. It's alive. English. Enter. Hello, Bobby Warren. And then United States. US keyboard. Hello, Jim. Add a second keyboard. Skip. Let's connect you to a network. All right, here it's wanting to connect to a network, but actually with Windows 11 Pro, that's not a problem. I don't mind that because it still works just fine. Now let me get over to that Dell Latitude order screen and see, is it Pro? Yeah, operating system Windows 11 Pro. So not a problem. I don't need to do the Shift F10 bypass NRO. It is forcing me to connect to a network here because that next button is not available to click on until I connect. I could connect by Ethernet. I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to plug the Ethernet cable in rather than connecting to Wi-Fi because that's right here. It's got to be somebody saying, no, don't do that. You're going to have to create a Microsoft account. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay, Jim, I'll catch you later. So I plug that in. Here it says connected. So I do not have to connect here to the Wi-Fi. I have the blue button now available. That's because this Ethernet connection shows as connected. So then I'll click next. Now this is the one downside of connecting to the internet is it's going to take a moment to check for updates. Please keep your PC on. Martin Hogg says, Doug, any thoughts on why I'm unable to join as a member? Martin, are you signed into your YouTube account on the iPad? I think you said it was an iPad, right? And if you answer yes, you're signed into your YouTube account, then I don't have another idea at this point because you can't join without being signed in to YouTube. And yes, Jeff, he's had that conversation earlier in chat today that he doesn't have a join button. And there was, let's see, Alice gave him a link to my, I think it was to my channel page, expecting that he would see a join button there, but still doesn't have it. Definitely, if you're not signed in to YouTube on the iPad, then that would prevent you from seeing a button. Updates underway. Jim says Optane should be fired into the sun. Okay, so that was the amount of time that it took for those updates. Review license agreement. Our legal department already did that. Name your device. Do I care at this point? I'm thinking of my clients. Let's call it Dell Latitude. And I'll say, I'm going to refer to this person as JM. Oops, I can't do that. That's too many characters. I got to make this bigger so that I can see it. There we go. Dell laptop JM. I could have skipped for now. I didn't even see that when the screen was so small in front of me. Oh, can't have spaces in a computer name. I know that. Haven't seen a response from Martin Hogg. Are you signed into your YouTube account? We've got the computer restarting. Have not got to the point yet of a username. Here we go.
Read chat, please.
Zavine Minor saying, did you mean to create a user by promising to join a domain, but only promises? That's what I'm doing right now. Yes. We just got to this screen. Here's the key thing. If you're dealing with Windows 11 Pro, you have to choose set up for work or school. Even if you're lying about it, it is okay. The PC police are not going to come out and arrest you for lying about this. It can be for personal use, but if you want a local user account, then lie. Lying is good for the soul. What? Set up for work or school. This is the thing that will work every time for Windows 11 Pro. If you go this way, it's going to push you into doing a Microsoft account. Then you'll have to use the Shift F10 and by OOBE / bypass NRO. See, I got to say that every time that I have an occasion to or an excuse to. So here we go. Set up for work or school. Here's how this works. Click Next. And then here we've got sign in. Let's set things up for your work or school. Sign in options. See, at this point, it's still wanting an email address. Sign in options. And then domain join instead of doing an email account and a Microsoft account. Domain join instead, and it goes straight here. Enter a name. Okay, who are you? Enter a name. Easy. The easiest way to do a local account. No special things needed. And I'm not going to do a password. I'll be putting in a password before I deliver to the client. I do not like having computers sign in with no password. Now, that said, you just saw me recently demonstrate on my own laptop that it didn't have a password when I showed that, but that's going to get changed very soon. My routine here, these things used to be more of a deal than they are at this point. I like to turn off the optional diagnostic data just because I want less traffic going. I want the computer to work less, but it's really not a big deal. Inking and typing, I really haven't looked into that much, but I don't think that is actually doing anything at all. And then next and accept. Hello, William Lynn. I recognize your name. Let's go deal with that right now. I do give people moderator when I know that they are not a troll, and it gives you the ability to put in links if you want. That disappeared for some reason. I don't know why. I do not ask you to perform moderator duties. I'm not asking you to block people or discipline them or anything like that. Hello, Oystein, Raj D, Jeff, Martin, Jim, Josh. Now let's get back to business here. Start device registration. Put nothing in here and just click next. I've read and agreed with Dell's privacy policy and telemetry. This is interesting. This button is available to click. Will it let me click on it without doing that check mark? Let's see. Oh, how about that? I was able to get past that without clicking anything. Interesting. And your Windows update in progress. Now, of course, if I had gone the other route of not connecting to the internet, I could have done the Shift F10 at that point and done the OOBE / bypass NRO to skip having to do these updates now. I didn't have a chance to skip these updates. That is a downside with allowing it to connect to the internet and doing this method of getting to a local user account. John Downey says, hello, just joined. 99 cents is reasonable to support the channel. Yes, I don't think I've commented that. It's just 99 cents a month. And I'll restate once in a while. My main reason why I turned on membership is because I intend to really boost the growth of this channel during 2025 and beyond. And I want for the people who are here at the beginning to be able to document that by having their badges. That's what these zeros mean, is you're in your 0th month. Your 0th month, right? First has ST and then second has ND. What do you put after 0? Well, I think it's TH. 0th month. Correct. YouTube is signed in, still no join button. I will make an attempt to try that on an iPad. I don't have an iPad myself, but I have access to iPad, so I might try that. So let's get a reminder for me. Set timer called test iPad join channel.
For how long?
1 hour.
Test iPad join channel timer. 1 hour, starting now.
That's how I remind myself to do things. Does anybody in the chat room have an iPad, and have you tried looking for a join button? Now, it might be a plus sign, it might be a dollar symbol, it might not be the word join. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. I've been finding Copilot really, really useful. And I do a new chat to be sure it's on a new chat. How can I join a YouTube channel from an iPad? I do not see a join button. See what Copilot says. Can be a bit tricky since the join button doesn't always appear on the mobile app. Here's a few steps you can try. Oh yes, are you using a browser or are you using the YouTube app? Whichever one you're currently using, try the other one. Request desktop site. Go to the YouTube channel you want to join, tap the 3 dots, more options at the bottom, and select request desktop site. Interesting. I would not have ever thought of that. 3 dots at the bottom and select request desktop site. Find the join button. Once the desktop version loads, you should see the join button. If this doesn't work, you can also try /join to the end of the channel URL in your browser. This will take you directly to the membership page. That should work on a Chrome browser too. So the channel URL, you do youtube.com/LWTDB. You don't have to use the @ for my channel URL because I created that handle before YouTube started requiring the @ symbol. So then what it said was, what did it say? /join. /join. So that'd take you straight to the membership page. Yes, gets you this window here and a join button. So there's 3 ways to resolve that. If you're on the browser on the iPad or on the app on the iPad, try the other one. That was 1. 2 was request a desktop site. And 3 was doing the /join. This 3 was actually a second part to that request desktop site. All right, eager to see what he finds with that. How are we doing on this computer? Find your feature match. Oh, it's still working on those updates. Your Windows update is in progress. Updates have to be done anyway, so it's happening now before we ever get to the desktop. Oystein, I found the join button and it worked, but it was very slow to join. Were you on an iPad? Because the question for Martin is that he's having trouble finding it on an iPad. It's very slow to join. Interesting. William Lind, using the YouTube app on a Samsung Tab S9, he sees the join button. Could be a different experience than the iPad. Martin is using the YouTube app, so try the browser, try the web browser. Oystein was not using an iPad, he's using a Windows PC. Greg M., you're asking a version of iPad OS. Does that actually make a difference, or are you just fishing there, which is okay, but do you think it makes a difference which OS? Oh, Greg M. has an iPad. He can get it. Oh, then he's on an iPad. I'm on iPad here. Okay, so now, do you find a join button for my channel, Greg M.? Particularly while you're using the YouTube app, since that's what Martin was using. Oystein's Chrome browser. William Lynn. Have I seen William Lynn since? Yeah, there he is. He's in blue. The one thing I see is that I have friends who bricked their laptop because they had BIOS updates through Windows updates, then turned off their laptop, then it's bricked. Yeah, don't do that. Now, there's a possibility that while installing these Windows updates, that it could be installing a BIOS update. Now, of course, it's a laptop, so it has a battery, and I'm plugged into power. One of the downsides for having updates run at this point is because I can't see what updates it's installing. Inquiring minds want to know. These dots down here indicate that there are this many pages that are showing up here. See you in a bit. If the update isn't done, it's okay to step away. We'll take care of the rest. Just be sure PC is plugged in. Now it's going to cycle around to the beginning. You can tell by which one of these dots is larger than the others. Then I can punch through the dots if I want to see what those are. Is it going to automatically circle around and start again? I thought it would. Yeah, there it is. I just had to wait long enough. So discover the power of Copilot, and then the next one is unlock the power of your PC. The next one is surf the waves. Then organize files effortlessly, create folders in Start, open games with a single touch, tools for focus. See you in a bit. Now, I think this one over here, surf the waves, I can actually play that now while I'm waiting. Click to start playing, and I have seen this before. So I've got to go around those or else I'll die. Go around those, go around that, using my mouse. Oops, I died there. And then, let's see, where's one of these ramps? Holding the mouse button down now. There's some ramps around here somewhere. I haven't seen the ramps yet, or haven't spotted them. Whoops, there's a crash. Oh, those lightning bolts. If I go through those lightning bolts, I think that gives me more lives or something. I have no idea what time it is. Uh-oh. Yep, all right. My aunt does. I will look into it for you. I think he's saying that his aunt has an iPad, I'm guessing. Seldom Ball, the join button is not present on my iPad's YouTube app, but it is present on my PC using Chrome. How about if you open a browser, a web browser on the iPad Do you get a join button then? And then the other thing would be to type in my channel URL, youtube.com/LWTDB/join. Is that what it was? That should take you straight to the membership. Yeah, /join. Greg M, there's no join button because I'm logged into the same account as my member account. Yeah, there wouldn't be a join button, but what there would be is the button to, was it see perks, I think it's called. I've heard some people say that it shows up as a plus button. I want your opinion, what you think of Snapdragon ARM laptops. Do you think it will be a failed product or will ever take off? At this point in its development, and I haven't done much research into it, but just vaguely what I'm aware of, I'm not impressed. The main selling point seems to be battery life. Myself and most of my clients who use laptops, not really too worried about battery life, because they usually take most of my experience and my clients' experience, they go from one maybe home to another or office to another, and then they're pretty much set up there doing work for a while, and they'll typically plug it in. People who need it to run on battery life, maybe they're using a lot in bed or traveling. So battery life has not been much of a concern among my experiences with laptops. I don't feel any traction to it. So there's just no real big attraction to it that I'm aware of. You drive like I do. He's talking about me in the game. Greg M, there's no join button on the YouTube app on this iPad Pro. Yeah, saw that. When I use another account. So he's gone to another account, but again, with the app. So try doing it on a browser. Do you have to pay for Copilot? No, it's included with Windows. I saw where there's a monthly charge. Oh, you can pay for it. Now, I have a Microsoft 365 family account. So that's a good question. And my clients that I have commonly used this Copilot button down here, now that you mention it, those typically have Microsoft accounts, but they typically are not signed in via Windows to their Microsoft account. I think there's a Copilot account or charge that you can pay, but I have not come across needing that. C Perks is left to the subscribe bill. Yeah, Oystein says, yeah, C Perks is left to the subscribed bill. Right. Now, if you unsubscribe, then you'll see a join button. The join button is present when using Safari browser on iPad. Copilot's free access. Is it weird that the join button would not be available when using the YouTube app? Shouldn't the YouTube app be more versatile and capable, not less? Copilot's free access is available on my Windows 10 computer for Selden Ball. Yeah, I haven't really looked into when you have to pay for Copilot, or what are the advantages of paying for Copilot. How are we doing over here? It is 9:55. Oh yeah, I think I'm a little bit into overtime. Exit and restart PC. Because I do want to cover in this show the questions about the status of BitLocker. It's not going to be device encryption because that's for Windows 11 Home. It's the same engine underneath. BitLocker and device encryption is the same BitLocker engine underneath, but the home version is kind of limited in what it can do, and they don't use the branding of BitLocker, although you will see the word BitLocker as you're clicking around in menu options. So we want to see the status of that. We want to see the status of secure boot, and we wanted to see the status of local user account, which I've already done that. It seems like there's another element that I was concerned about. How does this come from the manufacturer? Because it's been a little while since I've had a new Dell computer. Greg M, thanks YouTube for that difference with the app I think he's referring to. Jeff Raymond, the store. Okay, this is going to be about Copilot, isn't it? Let's talk it through. $20 a month, Copilot Pro, to see what you get more. Priority access, unlock Copilot in your favorite apps. So as you use Copilot in these apps, introducing Copilot Voice. I have Copilot Voice right now. I've demonstrated a couple times on the channel. Microsoft Copilot Pro, $20 a month, free trial. Now this is from the store. I might already have Copilot Pro from my Microsoft 365 home subscription. I don't know that, but we'll be finding out. 97%. I like the iPad YouTube's app interface, much better than YouTube browser. $20 a month, $240 a year. Back on the subject of my 99 cents a month membership, I do not intend to be doing special videos for membership. That could change in the future, but my main intent was for people to be able to show how long they've been supporters of the show. And that AI Q test, the AI IQ test that I demonstrated yesterday, I was thinking I might do that through community messages. I decided I don't want to take 3, 4, 5 minutes on every half-hour show to do that live, but I might start doing that before showtime, post my results in chat before show starts, and encourage other people who are interested in posting their results. So that may be coming. Not totally decided on that. Seldom Ball, I usually look for YouTube videos on the iPad and add them to the watch later queue and manipulate the order of the videos on the iPad. Changing the order requires doing it twice if I do it in a PC browser. Oh, interesting. So you can change the order for watch later easier with the YouTube app. Now, how about the YouTube for desktop app? How does that do? Let's see, I'm clicking around here to see where I can demonstrate that. I'm not remembering right now. There's a place when you're on the YouTube screen, I think it was on your profile button, to load or install a YouTube app from this menu. So it's actually a separate app that runs on your computer, but I'm not sure if it gives any additional functionality or not. There it is. Here we are. So we'll go get the right keyboard, Windows key, MS info for system information. That'll tell us about the status of secure boot. Secure boot is on. And then we'll hit Windows key, BitLocker, manage BitLocker, enter. And there's a turn on button. So it is not partially on. With Windows 11 Home, I have seen from major manufacturers that Windows 11 Home has device encryption partially enabled. What that means is a little bit unclear. So I will routinely turn that off unless we're actually going to sign into Microsoft account and store the device encryption key in the Microsoft account. This is showing that BitLocker is completely turned off. Okay, I like that. I think that's all I wanted. I told you, I feel like there's one other thing that I wanted to check how it comes default from the manufacturer. You may be seeing this laptop again tomorrow. Not certain right now, but it is time to shut this down and get on with my real life for January 1st, 2025. Jim says Brave browser on iPad desktop site shows the join button. So that's again on a browser. So it seems on the iPad on a browser, you can get the join button, but with the app, the YouTube app on an iPad, it's not there. William Lynn, because I will be taking my laptop to and from class, so I can't always plug it in and can't carry a brick, and I dislike Apple products. Now that is a reason to choose a lower processor. Lower processor going to generate less heat, and Apple for apples, longer battery life. However, on the Dell's website, for instance, I contemplated, let's see, for an i3. I looked at doing i3. I'm going to tell it to do an i3. The reason we didn't go with an i3, that would have been longer battery life and lower heat, is that that's only available for 8 gigabytes of RAM. Absolutely not. No way. No way am I doing, particularly on a laptop that, well, the Dell Latitudes are probably going to be upgradable with opening a panel. But when I try to switch to 16 gigabytes, it says the current spec is this. If I want to do 16 gigabytes, I have to go to the i5. So that's why we have i5 on this. She would have been fine with an i3, but 16 gigabytes is a requirement. Then the hard drive, I want to say I don't think we got 256. I think we did 512 on this. Let's go check on that. No, it seems to me it's got one. I want to say we got 1 terabyte. Nope, it's 512. Can tell that right there with the 474 gigabytes. Now, somebody might say, well, check disk management and see if there is unused space, but no, there won't be. They're not going to send it with, there's 13 megabytes, 1.4 gigabytes, 990 megabytes. So yeah, it's a 512 gigabyte drive. All right. I get the last stuff in chat. Yeah, so many times I'm not going to be going back and reading through chat afterwards, including today. And that'll do it. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. You can send an email to this address with a question that myself in the chat room will respond to about computer issues you may be having, or how to use your computer in a different way that you're not doing now. You can put those same kinds of questions as a comment on any of my videos, and you can ask those questions in the chat room. All right, have a great day, everybody. Very, very happy 2025 I wish for you all. And here comes Porky the Pig. He survived the changes.